lie there in that old curiosity shop.
I don't know why a rose is born or how it grows. I don't know why there's rhythm in the sea. I only know that I love you. That's all that matters to me. I never could explain the rainbow after rain, or why there's something sacred in a tree. I only know that I love you. That's all that matters to me. I don't know how the sky above me brings summer sun and winter snow. Just tell me now that you still love me. There's nothing more I want to know. The beauty of the night, the dawning's early light. I don't know why or how such things can be. I only know that I love you. That's all that matters to me.
Well, a good afternoon, folks. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, welcoming you to the last Monday night in September and my last monthly special for this month. That's right, it's the third and final installment of the Not So Scary Autumn Decor Show. We've had 3 this month, and I want to thank everyone who has participated. And right now, no dancing coffee man, no cup of coffee brought to you today. There's too much to talk about, so I'm going to just dive right in and go as quickly as I can. I will say that everything that you see here, all of this beautiful glass and pottery in the wonderful warm colors of autumn, every piece is for sale. In the Old Curiosity Shop, that's my eBay store, and the link is in the description box below. Okay, let's go see what's what, and we're going to start right here with this beautiful bowl. The iridescence is absolutely stunning. And I shouldn't make fun of the second generation Carnival glass that was made a lot by Indiana Glass Company and others in the 1960s. That's not what this is. This is the old stuff, and in my opinion, there's no comparison. Just look at the deep luster, the beautiful iridescence. Boy, you don't get that on the stuff from the 1960s. I'm not exactly sure of the maker. It could be any one of a number of companies. I'm getting kind of an imperial feel on this, but I'm not certain. It dates from somewhere between 1910 to 1930. It's just a small console bowl. And rather than referring to this as Carnival glass, we really should just be calling it iridescent, because as you know, the Carnival glass collectors have a pretty stiff definition of what they consider Carnival and what they consider iridescent. That's a topic for another video at another time. So we're just going to call this beautiful iridescent glass of the right around the 1920s. And then underneath it is a large 13-inch serving platter. I'll set the iridescent glass aside for a minute and lift this up, and hopefully you don't see too many of my fingerprints. A beautiful amber etched piece. I haven't identified the pattern yet. There were hundreds of these etched patterns during the elegant era of the 1920s and 30s. This is going to date from anywhere around 1928 into the early 30s. And it's just a beautiful, great big 13-inch serving plate with just a few scratches on the top from use, not many. Boy, you could fit a lot of hermit cookies on top of that. You can tell where my mind is. Made by one of the glass companies. You know, while we're talking, when I say one of the glass companies, it seems like anytime I necessarily can't identify a pattern, I sort of always attribute this glass to, Cambridge, Heisey, Fostoria, Duncan Miller, New Martinsville, Westmoreland, companies such as that. Let's put this iridescent bowl back. And it's probably one of those companies. But I just made a short list here of some of the other companies, some you've heard of, some you've never heard of. There must have been over 100 glass companies making glass like this from the turn of the century. A lot of them went out of business in the 30s. The rest of them mostly went belly up after the war, when production became too expensive and all the exports came in and there was too much competition. But the point I'm making with a dish like this is, it could have been made by one of those fancy companies I mentioned, but here's a few of the other companies, some you've probably never heard of. Gill Brothers, Diamond Glassware, Consolidated Lamp Company, Paramount, Vineland Flint Glass, Bonita Art Glass, Cooperative Flint, Economy Glass, Fry, DC Jenkins and Company, Liberty Works, Beaumont Glass, Central Glass. That's only maybe 15 companies that are not quite as well known as Fostoria and Cambridge. And the thing that you've got to be careful about, if you just Google etched amber glass, you'll get you'll find lots of examples, and sometimes it's attributed to the wrong company, and I try to be accurate. So I don't know. I'm still working on it. Might take me a while to figure out who this pattern is and exactly who made this, but for right now, it's just beautiful glass, and who cares who made it? It's absolutely stunning. This piece and this piece here match, and these two are listed in an auction together. It's just beautiful amber glass. That would be a dish. You can serve your celery in that. Pickled beets. And then, not this bowl, but then this piece here. Now these are the same pattern, same heavy glass, beautiful glass. That's also a nice, big, heavy, honey-colored amber platter. That little deet right in the center is just a bubble. You see a few scratches on the top. And this glass will have polished bottoms. It's usually fire polished, and a little more quality control than the cheaper depression glass. While it's in my hand, another beautiful amber bowl. That shape is so typical. Every one of those companies that I just mentioned made console bowls in just about this identical shape. And it would take a lot of research to be able to pinpoint exactly who made it. But beautiful amber glass from about 1930 or so. Put that little guy back where he belongs. The two ducks over here are Royal Windsor pottery mallard ducks. I think this one has a little tiny owie on the back of his tail feather. They are in two separate poses. You know, they're not identical, as you can, I don't know if you can see that or not. They both have their foil stickers. The colors are beautiful, and I often think of mallard ducks flying overhead and Canadian geese and so forth when the fall weather comes. These guys, as I said, except for that one little chip on his tail feather, they're in beautiful shape. And then, I've got some things paired together in one auction, and I think it might be this beautiful, almost looks like a beehive, not beehive, honeycomb? I'm not sure what I'm thinking of. It looks like something. Beautiful amber glass, probably made during the Depression era as well. And I think I've got that vase paired together in an auction with this wonderful pumpkin colored piece of pottery. This is handmade. We can see here, let's get her to focus. Or, come on. Hold on. Okay. At Festival Park, Jamestown, Virginia. It's stamped there on the bottom as well. It's a really nice pumpkin color pottery vase. And I may have that grouped together with this little Depression era piece that I believe had candy in it. We can see here that embossed on the side are all the ingredients. I don't know, but you can see it says gelatin, sugar, starch, corn syrup, and then the number of ounces, and then over here it says certified U.S. colors. So I think of lanterns during the Halloween season, and you could put some little orange. How about you grind up some candy corns and fill this back up with some orange colored candy? Green lid, little wire handle on the top. Make a cute little decoration. Okay, let me stand back up and we'll go over here to a nice amberina piece. A footed compote candy dish in one of those beautiful patterns of pressed glass. Okay, that's a nice one right there. This owl over here is actually a bank. Okay, there's the slot in the back of his head, and there's the spot for the money to come out. And this is Napco. Okay, Napco Potteries of Bedford, Ohio. That's where the company was located, but their products were made in Japan, and we know. So there's the Japanese foil sticker there. And National Potteries, I usually don't see it quite spelled out like that. I usually just see Napco, but we can see there National Potteries, Bedford, Ohio. And this is going to date probably to the 1960s. It's a little 6-inch tall owl with a sort of a matte finish, and he's got plastic eyes. But the wonderful thing about this, now notice the bottom is flat. So you're not going to be able to stick an electric cord up there. But look at his eyes. Now you know what I decided to do with this? Let's turn him upside down because that's where my light bulb is. Watch what happens when we stick a light bulb under him. He glows. So what could you do with this? Stick one of those battery operated candles there. Don't put a real flame in there. I think you probably crack your ceramic. And but there's really no way to put an electric rod unless you chipped away at the back, and I wouldn't do that. But get yourself a battery-operated votive candle, one that's bright enough, and his eyes are going to light up as you just saw, and you have a wonderful Halloween decoration, or decoration not so much for Halloween but for autumn. There are none currently for sale on eBay, and none. I couldn't find any examples that sold on eBay in the last 3 months, so I think he's hard to find. There's a beautiful probably 60s or late 50s Japanese jardiniere. It's got the Japan paper label on the bottom. Not jardiniere, what am I trying to say? Ginger jar. I'm not going to pick it up, but its condition is fantastic. Wonderful orange and gold colors. Not a speck of damage on it. There we go. Nice size. And we're just going to leave that right there. Once again, if you'd like to see much better pictures, feel free to go to the eBay site. You can peruse all you want. You don't have to buy anything, but you can see much better pictures than what you're looking at here. Made by Stengel right there with all my autumn potpourri in it is a wonderful pumpkin colored center bowl, which I'm not going to pick up either. I think we had a beautiful orange piece of Stengel in the last auction. Made in Trenton, New Jersey. Beautiful piece in great shape. We're going to ask the ducks to fly away for a second, and I'll let you see this wonderful autumn colored platter. It's in a creamy color, which might look white in the bright lights of this film, but it's really pretty. I wish you could see the sort of creamy color to it. We'll turn it over, and we can see it's a Johnson Brothers piece, of course. And it says the flower is called English Clover, or that's the pattern anyway. So Johnson's Brothers, nice big platter, probably 12 or 13 inches. No problems with that. Beautiful piece made in England. Now, how would your homemade butternut squash soup look in that terrain? Let me tell you, I got detached retina. Now, it's not English, it's made in Japan, and it probably dates again to the 1950s or early 60s. I think it was a gift. I think it was wrapped up in the attic, and I think it was never used. I can't find a bit of damage on it. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to let you see that even on the ceramic spoon, there's that very typical sort of 1950s, 60s, please focus, made in Japan. Now that's the sticker that we see after the war on a lot of these Japan pieces, but really prior to the 1970s. I don't think it was used because wouldn't you take that made in Japan off before you served your mother-in-law? I shouldn't pick on mothers-in-law or mother-in-laws. I don't have one. I have a sister-in-law. Anyway, and it's got the underplate. This thing is just unbelievable. And look at how pretty the fall colors are. Now the underplate is not attached, and it is also absolutely perfect. I believe made by the Blanco Glass Company of West Virginia is this wonderful optic pumpkin. These are not signed, but when they were originally made, they had stickers on the bottom. The sticker is gone, beautifully polished. I think Blanco is still making these. That's very typical of a Blanco stem on top of their pumpkins. So I'm going to attribute it to Blanco, but I'm not absolutely 100% certain. If I'm wrong, let me know. It's not Murano. Here's a wonderful owl, and it is a night light. Now I've got an orange colored light bulb on the inside of that. And you can see them all lit up when on the auction page. But he's got a light bulb on the inside, and there's an on-off switch on the cord. So Mama Owl is fast asleep with her wing over the baby owl, who simply does not want to go to sleep. Boy, you could put different colored light bulbs in that, and it's really pretty. Every glass company made either what we call tidbit trays, or what a lot of them refer to as cracker trays. Indiana Glass did a lot of painted surfaces, as well as Lancaster Glass, and they really liked black and orange. Now I know black and orange was popular in Czechoslovakia too, but this is an American-made Depression-era piece. If I were to pick up and look around and find all the photographs of tidbit trays, you're probably going to find 50 different variations of tidbit trays like this, made by, as I said, almost every glass company. And so it's a Depression piece with the autumn colors. You guys recognize Goofus glass? There it is. And as far as Goofus glass is concerned, not too bad. You can see as I pull it forward all the little speckles there of loss. That's typical for Goofus glass. the cold painted surface paint here does not hold up well. I was just watching George the Antique Nomad last night, and he was also talking about Goofus glass, which he saw in one of the antique stores that he was in. I'm sure you watch his program. If not, please look him up. You'll learn so much from every video. That's George the Antique Nomad. I enjoy his videos a lot. I think of this as an autumn piece when I think of crumpled up dark colored leaves. Those little chips in the paint don't bother me at all. So this is going to date to around 1920 as well. It was very inexpensive pressed glass with this cold painted paint that was applied. Now don't let me get too far ahead before I forget anything. Let's keep circling around. This piece right here, I believe is made by the Central Glass Company. They had a pattern that was very much in like this shape, but again, glass companies copied each other. And if a shape was popular, everybody came out with a certain variation. So it may not be Central, it may be someone else. It's got a wonderful, as I said, Indiana did a lot of glass like this. I love the cameo. You saw me thrift this about a year ago. Oh, I've decided to sell it. We have a naked dancing lady. She better put her clothes on because we're getting back into the 60s this week. And you could put a lot of candy corns in that. Could you not? Little bit of loss on the bottom. The paint does not chip off. It holds up pretty well. You have to scrub it pretty aggressively with something like an SOS pad to get the paint off of it. So it's pretty stable. I wouldn't really worry about it losing any more paint. But the decoration around the outside is wonderful. I love that. And I've got it sitting on top of just two random etched plates. Again, Cambridge, Fostoria, Duncan Miller. Don't go through the whole list. Heavily encrusted gold on the outside perimeter and just gorgeous honey-colored amber. And you could have lunch for two or dessert, or use these as underplates for all kinds of things in the autumn season. Even put a small pumpkin on top of one of those. Here's another gorgeous piece of iridescent glass. This is also just on fire. You don't get this kind of richness in color and finish from the cheaper 1960s glass. I'm just going to have to pick it up like that and have fingerprint. Well, let me see if I can get a hold of it. Okay, there we go. Again, I'm sort of maybe getting either an imperial or perhaps a Northwood feel to this. Just look at the iridescence in that bowl. Now that comes from a sprayed-on mixture of minerals on the mineral salts on the outside. It's clear glass. It almost has a stretch effect, stretch glass, but I wouldn't call it stretch because it's just too fine. We'll just say iridescent. That again is going to date to 1918, 1922, maybe even just a little bit earlier. I can't remember who made this. It's the Georgian pattern, and it's not particularly old. I don't remember whether it's Colony or Tierra or Indiana, but it's a small picture in the wonderful Georgian pattern or honeycomb, and it has the ice lip. And it's a small size, which I like. There's a candle over there which has lost its bottom, but it must be girly. It's never been painted. And it's sitting on a paper towel because it's trying to get wax all over my countertop, and I'm not a fan of that. So a nice size and a pretty clean turkey too. Sometimes these old candles get pretty gross. You know, caked up with all kinds of muck. But that one is in really nice condition. Salt and pepper shakers here, and I guess these are little pheasants. And this looks like Napco underneath. There are the holes for the shakers. Now those two go together. They do not match this big turkey. He's made by someone else, but we're going to throw him in there anyway. And let's see, there are holes right in the front. That is a big shaker. If that's a salt and pepper shaker, that will go around the entire Thanksgiving table 5 times. You certainly won't have to worry about refilling that. And so it's just the one. And you can use this as decoration. There's a wonderful little silver-plated bread dish, which I like a lot. The only thing that I did not list yet, and I'm waiting to see if there's any interest, is my peach luster punch bowl. I'm not really sure I want to sell it, but if anybody's interested, I'll go ahead and throw it on. The big peach luster bowl, 8 cups, and a separate bottom down there, you can see. And if we turn this over, we see nothing on it. Remember, a lot of these were made mostly by the Anchor Hocking company. Others made peach luster as well, but I think this is Hocking. That's in excellent condition. And, oh, I don't know. We'll see. What do you think? Anybody interested? Now, I'm bound to have forgotten something. Let me back up. Blah, 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 blah. I know I went quickly because there's so much to show you. I think I said everything I wanted to say about everything you see before you. I have had so much fun over the last 8 months collecting everything that you see in this auction and in the last 2 autumn decor auctions. This is it. This is my last one until this time next year. But I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic week. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching, and so long for now.